sometimes when it's extremely cheap to charge, that charging curve right here, man, it once it drops, it really drops. But it's still doing it, and I'm still not complaining about the price. Almost done. Good morning, everybody. Hippie sitting over here at the charger just off a Disney property. I like the fact that you don't have to be a member like at Electrify America or EVgo or something like that to get the cheap rates at a lot of the superchargers. I like, during the daytime, yeah, 41 cents, 42 cents, it's a little bit crazy. But from midnight until 9 o'clock the next morning, when they drop it to 17 cents or 22 cents or whatever, it's the best. One thing, it's the best time to charge. You're not out boiling in the sun having to run your AC while you are charging your car because it's nighttime. But man, the prices are just drastically cheaper, and you spend very, very little money. If you're not charging at home, if you're using the superchargers. Obviously, charging at home, it's free, and the next best thing to free is cheap. Well, charged, and I have to do a quick job. Hop onto Disney World property. That should take about 5 minutes. It's great when your work is only like 5 to 15 minutes long. This is the way jobs should be. Quick, fast, efficient, and pay well. The thing I like about pretty much staying within the Disney bubble is the traffic. The traffic is so much better than being out on the normal roads. You're just staying on theme park property. It's like an incredible job. You're feeding people, you're giving people rides. It's like an amazing thing. I have to say that company deliver that, and the other ones that I use, I don't want to say right now. It's just, I can't wait for my career to really blossom at this. And I think it's very easy to blossom at doing something like this within the Disney bubble. And on days like today where it's so beautiful and sunny and everything is green and it feels like a cross between spring and summer. It's just like life is, it just makes you appreciate life. Makes you happy. After a hard 10 minutes of labor, it's time for a car wash. And then a little bit of current news that's actually in the news. I've never heard louder vacuums in my life. I am really happy with the way these EV-based rims or hubcap thingies are really holding up through the numerous car washes that I've received since putting these things on the car. They're holding up really, really well. And they look really, really good right after a wash too. Anyway, today's subject. So I have read on Reddit and some other news sources and seen a couple YouTube videos from people like out in Arizona. There's some people in Arizona and stuff that have been talking about this on their YouTube channels. Jeebs is one of them. I think his channel's GEEBS. I don't know. I'm starting to become a fan of his channel. But there is a lawsuit now going against Tesla. Somebody is claiming that a Model Y, I think it's a 2021. I have a 2023, but I'm assuming the lawsuit spans all Teslas, stating that the miles that you drive on your odometer are being played with a little bit through the Tesla algorithm, and making the car act like it's driven more miles than it actually has, which means it puts you closer and closer to your warranty, right? So it's like, let's say I'm at 49,500 miles, my warranty for certain parts of the car are at 50,000. And then the battery and other stuff is 120,000 miles. But it keeps adding miles and miles and miles, supposedly. I have to say, I have, as a gig worker who has been driving mostly short miles, like around Disney property, which that's 45 square miles. Disney's not a small theme park. And then around the Orlando area periodically. I have not been paying attention to that very often. I'm going to start paying attention to it and marking my miles and seeing if it is saying I'm driving more miles than I actually am in the future. But at the moment, the car has not given me reason to believe that it's actually doing that. I don't know if it's a scammy lawsuit, because anything Tesla nowadays is just frowned upon, right? You know, due to the fact of whatever, you know, I don't have to say what's going on. Everybody in the whole planet knows what's going on. And this car in particular, when anything goes wrong, even the smallest thing, the news is blowing it up. And rightfully so, it should. The news should blow it up if something's wrong. I have no loyalty to this car other than I really, really love it. I have no loyalty to the guy that did the hostile takeover and took over the company at all. I don't have any love for that guy at all. I do have love for the company. I think it's an incredible company. I think the employees are amazing. When I go to get the car serviced, the service employees are amazing. I've never had service like I've had since I've had this car. Through Nissan, my girlfriend's Chevy Bolt, her Kia EV6, you know, and the Tesla. Those are the three main electric cars that we've had and still have. Coming from a Nissan Leaf, my biggest thing was range anxiety. Every time my girlfriend had a Chevy Bolt, it did like 300 miles per charge. And my first Nissan got like 65 miles per charge, the 2013 Nissan Leaf. My 2021 Nissan Leaf would get about 240 miles per charge. 240 miles doesn't last that long when you're running your air conditioner and the Florida heat and everything else. So real world, I'd get about maybe 180 miles, which is great for a Nissan Leaf. Don't get me wrong. And I do love the Nissan Leaf. It's a great car. Excuse me. But I still had range anxiety even at 180 miles. When I switched to the Tesla Model Y, my range anxiety is gone. I stopped paying attention to the mileage. Where's my messages coming from? I don't know. But I stopped paying so much attention to the mileage and how much further I have to go to get to a charger. All that stuff just went away, knowing that the car will navigate to the nearest Tesla supercharger when it's time. You know, you don't have to go hunting one down like you do Electrify America, ChargePoint, EVgo with the CCS units or the Chatamo units. It just knows what to do. I haven't had any of the turmoil I had when I've had CCS or Chatamo cars with this car, which is a huge ease off of my mind. And then I see a lawsuit like this where people are kind of nitpicking and saying this is going on, that's going on. You know, the guys, I think he's stating, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, stating that the car added like 15,000 miles or some crazy number to his normal commute. He normally, supposedly, I think he said he drove 70 miles a day, but the car was saying, you know, round trip to work and home, but the car was saying he was driving like 200 miles or something crazy every time, and he wasn't. And it ended up being like 1,500 miles, or I don't know. You can look at the lawsuit and read his paper. But I have not found that. So far, just going from home at the campground to Disney property, it's 5 miles. When I just picked up that order, it was 6 miles. And when I got there to deliver the order, it was like 6.1 miles. So it wasn't off, really. It was pretty accurate. And I'm just going to take that, you know, that maybe that 6.1 miles, because the GPS said it was 6 miles. 6.1 could have been because I'm running my air conditioner, or because it's 500 degrees outside. So it could have been that. I mean, if I would have done it in the evening and not been running my air conditioner, it may have came out at an even 6 miles. But I knew from the GPS it was 6 miles. I was watching it. It seemed it was okay. So maybe the guy has a messed up car. Maybe you know, he needs to take it into service and have it looked at. But I noticed that the news was really grabbing this story, and it should, because if Elon or the company has it set to where you run out of your warranty faster than you should, that's big news. But I don't believe it's real news. There's only this one story. I could be parked at a stoplight here. There may be 4 Teslas at the stoplight. We have so many Teslas in town, just in one city, just on Disney property. There's hundreds of them, let alone across the United States, let alone across the globe, and you're hearing one story. But that one story is making the news. So I don't know if I believe this guy or not. I think he needs to go to a service center and have his car looked at. I'm not in for frivolous lawsuits. If I was, I'd be rich right now, because I've had plenty of opportunities. But I just don't believe in them. I think they're ruining our lives. But yeah, so that's kind of what today's video is about. Let me know what you think about it. Do car manufacturers sometimes mess with the miles? You know, back in the day, we had analog, you know, where the ticker would go mile per mile, you know, 1 to 9, back to 0 and start over again. Now everything's digital. Everything's done with computers. So I don't think it's that far-fetched where they could do it. I just, for some reason, don't believe they are. I don't know. Leave in your comments below. What do you think? Do you think that car manufacturers, not just this company, but other companies like Ford, Chevy, Volkswagen, Porsche, any of the companies are doing this? Because it's such a new technology. It's only like 12, 13 years old since the first Nissan Leaf. It's a new technology where there's a guessometer where it guesses how far you're going to go per charge. But guessing how far you're going to go per charge should not mess with the odometer. Are car manufacturers doing that? So far, me testing it out today, I don't think my car is. But check your car. Leave in the comments below, like I said, if you think your car is doing that. If everything in your car dash is digital. And let me know. It doesn't have to be an electric car. It could be a gas car too, because a lot of gas cars have that digital readout and mileage ticker, and everything's all electronic now. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, everybody.